Good morning. Today's shirt brought to you by Love and Faith. I swear one every day. God shed his grace on thee. Is that what it says? Yeah, I think that's what it says. Anyway, I love it. So that's all that matters, right? Right. Okay, so I had a really fun, first of all, my hair's still wet. It's not greasy because I don't get greasy hair. Even if I didn't wash my hair for a week, it wouldn't be greasy. Anyway, I have a little bit of trauma because somebody 2 years ago in the comments told me to wash my greasy hair, and I was like, my hair is wet, okay? It's not greasy. I still have trauma from it. People say things and they get it planted in your head and then you freak out. I'm just kidding, y'all. Anyway, but I do remember it because you can't help but remember it. But anyway, this was my Friday night fun. I put that together and I love it. My boss, so we got a new employee who is now sharing an office with her. We have a very small office space. So now we've moved the conference room to where I was, and now I'm sharing an office with Lisa. And the boss came in there and was like, y'all are too squeezed up with all your stuff. She said, order you a shelf, order you whatever you want, so you can get some of that stuff, like my decorative things, off your desk, because I have a very small desktop space as well, right? So anyway, I went online on Amazon and I found this, and it'll be perfect. I can put a plant, because I don't know why Lisa and I have become the keeper of the plants at the office. We had an orchid, a half-dead orchid, when I started working there. So me being the crazy plant lady, I went and bought it orchid dirt and a new pot, and I repotted it, and it bloomed for the first time in like 1,000 years. Okay, maybe not really 1,000, but since they bought it. And I bring in fertilizer, and it's a liquid fertilizer that I put in the water every now and then to feed said plants. So anyway, well then somehow another orchid showed up. I don't know where it came from. I can't remember. Maybe it was already there and I just bought another pot. I can't remember. And then somebody brought in a ponytail palm. I think Lisa brought it in for Tommy. Anyway, her office was in the back. She wasn't getting enough sun. So it comes up to the front office where we are. And then Josh's wife, who's the new owner, Josh, his wife comes in, redecorates his office, brings in like 4 plants. He's still got 2 of them in his office, but the other 2 came to live with us. So basically, we're living in a greenhouse up there. It's a greenhouse, too, because the office is very hot. I was like, why are you moving me back into the greenhouse? Because I'm dying over here. So I sit with a fan on me, and I sit here, and Lisa sits here, and she's got her foot heater on. That's how we work together. We're going to create a storm in our greenhouse. I think I'm going to make a sign for the door that says the greenhouse, occupied by Lisa and Tracy. Yeah. Anyway, so I can put a plant, one of Josh's plants, one of my plants, I don't know. My pictures of my babies. I got a little statue of a dog and a little bird, little knick-knacky things. So anyway, isn't it cute? That's all I wanted to show y'all. I didn't mean to get into my whole life story with the office, but I just want to show y'all the fun I had last night. And I had that fun while I was watching A Man Called Otto. It was good. I teared up a few times. So I would say if you're not in the mood for a small little cry or maybe a big boo-hoo, depending on what you've been through in your life, maybe put off watching it until you're better. It's a very good, heartwarming movie. A Man Called Otto, and it's on Netflix. It's got Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is Otto. Once you get to the end, you realize why he is the way he is. I mean, our life kind of makes us the way we are, right? So it's a good movie. That's all I'm saying. I got to put their leashes on and take them for a walk. So I'll probably be back in a minute if I think of anything else to say. And you see me doing this a lot. It's because my head still hurts where that thing bonked me in the head when I do like that. So sometimes I just rub it like that. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Hi, it's me again. We're out walking. There's my babies. It was quite the trauma and drama getting down the driveway and out into the road because, first of all, there's people outside. There are people out on a Saturday morning making noises. That they are both doing their business at the same time. I apologize. Please stand by. Okay, anyway. That was quite a surprise to turn around and see in unison. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, so Dixie, oh, my phone's ringing. Okay, so I've been trying to make this video all day, and I've had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 phone calls, and it was so choppy and confusing that I just decided that I would take all that out after the walk and just start all over. So here we are, starting all over. All I wanted to say was this morning's walk was an exercise for me because I was dragging 2 dogs the entire time because neither nor of them wanted to walk, because when we went outside the door, first of all, Joan, her son, his wife, and their child were in their own backyard. I mean, how dare them be in their own backyard behind a fence making noise, okay? I mean, don't they know that Charlie and Penny live here and that they need to be quiet so that my dogs are not distracted? Yeah, so I had to drag them down the driveway. I mean, to be honest, it's a good way of not having to trim their toenails when you drag them down the driveway. I'm just kidding, I don't drag them. But I mean, I kind of did because they wouldn't walk. But anyway, as we're walking down the driveway, there's Dixie. Dixie's like, ooh, there's the lady that feeds me cantaloupe. Let me run across the street to her. Yeah, except I was like, no, don't come now, because I have these 2 knuckleheads, and they're not going to like you. So knucklehead 1 and knucklehead 2, or thing 1 and thing 2, changes their view or their thoughts from wondering what the noise was in Joan's backyard to, oh, there's a little black thing running across the street towards us. Now I need to focus my attention on it because it could hurt Mom. Yeah, so I think we'll start barking at that. Meanwhile, Dixie's dad is out running amok, doing whatever it is he was doing, getting in and out of the car and running in and out, and I don't know, things, making noise. So we finally get to the bottom of the driveway, and a truck turns on our road, on their road. Thing 1 and thing 2 owns this road, okay? And a truck turns pulling a trailer, of all things, okay? So I knew that the truck and trailer were going to Joan's because it was the people who had come and done her backyard. And they were coming to finish because they had some cleanup work to do. As a side note, Joan had her backyard leveled and she had new sod put down, and then the yard is lined with the little rocks all the way around it. It looks gorgeous. Makes mine look like just whatever, trash. But that's neither here nor there, because when I get enough money, maybe I'll have my yard leveled and sod put down and rocks surrounding it. But that's not going to be today or tomorrow or probably next year. But anyway, so I tell the truck to come on, right? I'm still in my driveway. And the dogs are still like, do we go after the people in her backyard or do we go after this black thing walking across the road like this? Oh no, now we have a truck coming. And I'm like, come on. And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, please, just come on, because I know what you want to do. You want to pull up to my driveway, and then you want to start backing into Joan's driveway. It would take you far less time just to do that. But no, he wouldn't have it. He had to be a gentleman. I wish y'all could see how Charlie's staring at me. I think he's mad because it's 4:12 and he wants to go for a walk. I'm sorry, honey. I've had 82 phone calls today and I'm trying to finish this video. Okay? Okay. So anyway, I pull out of my driveway and I'm walking up the road, dragging my 2 dogs, trimming their toenails as we try to walk up the road. Well, they're not happy because there's a truck behind us
that's going very slow and staying about 10 feet behind us.
Yeah, He's just creeping along while I'm trying to drag them away. Okay, we get up to the next driveway. We're not even to the next driveway. We're at the across the street next driveway, which isn't that far. And I start smelling something, and I'm like, well, that smells like cow manure or horse manure. It smells like manure, but not chicken manure, because that's a manure of a different flavor, okay? But I was like, why am I smelling that? Why do I smell farmland all of a sudden? Because there's no farmland near me. No, I'm not even playing the farm game on my phone right now to give the illusion of farm smells. No, I shouldn't be smelling farmland. Oh, what is that in the road? Did we have a wild cow or a wild horse run through my neighborhood? Because clearly that is something that comes from a large farming type animal in the road that people had driven through, that my dogs were then trying to get to, right? Now they're over the truck being behind us. Now they're focused on the manure in the road. So my next thought is to divert off the road, if that's the right word. I don't even know, and I don't even care. Divert off the road into Tommy's yard because, walk him through the meadow like I always do. Can't do that because her brother-in-law's staying with her and he's out in the yard, his own, well, her own, but whatever, working in the garden. Thing one and thing two, they're not going to have any of that either because that's their yard. I wish everyone would just understand that when we leave the house to go for a walk, everybody needs to go in their house and be very quiet until we get back home. And we'll make the trip much quicker if they'll just go in the house and be very, very quiet and let us do our business. But there's too many distractions going on with the truck and the chicken dad and the neighbors and the manure. And then later I was thinking, the manure probably didn't come directly from a wild cow or a wild horse, although we have had a wild cow in the neighborhood before, but that was many years ago. It probably was just maybe some manure that fell off a truck. It's probably more, because it is kind of planting season, so it probably was just some, a clump of manure that fell off, a very large clump of manure. But that reminded me of when I was a kid. The man and the woman who lived across the street from me, us, as a family, Leroy and Bobby. They had a giant garden in the back. Loved their garden. They took very good care of their garden. And Leroy prided himself on his vegetables, his tomatoes. They were huge, right? Well, he wouldn't get cow manure. No. He would get chicken manure. And he would have it delivered. Now, way back in the waybacks, we didn't have central air in Georgia in the summer. No. And we didn't have window air conditioners except for probably in Mom and Dad's bedroom. And that was it. Maybe in the living room, after a little while we might have got one in there. But we slept with the windows open at night. And the smell of the chicken manure floating through the windows every night is a bad memory for me. Also, every time Leroy would cut his grass, he would pile up all that fresh green grass and burn it. Have y'all ever smelled of burning green grass? There is no other smell quite so vile as burning green grass. Anyway, that little 10-minute walk this morning led me down a lot of rabbit trails. Yeah. But I also wanted to add that when I was in high school, one of my very good friends, Jill, had 2 horses. And I would go with her to muck the stalls, pick the stalls, turn the horses out, brush the horses, bring the horses back in, do all the horsey things. So I was very familiar with the smells around cows and horses and such as that, right? Yeah, I was pretty well versed in that smell. And that's not a smell I like to really... Actually, the smell this morning wasn't so bad. It's not a terrible smell. I mean, it brings to mind memories of, you know, childhood things, going to my uncle's when he had horses and cows and things like that. Now, the other mucking of the stalls where the ammonia smells get you, yeah, now that's not something I want to relive. But anyway, that was a whole wild explanation for our walk this morning. But I don't know if I've already said this, but I've already had so many phone calls that I just decided to start it all over because it kept getting cut off mid-sentence, and it was hard to come back from that. It was very hard to come back from that. And I have another question, and then as long as this video is long enough, I will bid you adieu, okay? Because I think thing 1 and thing 2 are ready to go for their afternoon WALK, even though I think it's too hot. But that one over there won't stop staring at me. Thing 2. Anyway, Sharon sent me a latching system for my gate. She sent it to me on Messenger. And so there's 2 different kinds. One requires a key, one requires a code. So I would like to know if any of you have used either the key or the code, and which you prefer. What are the upsides and what are the downsides of either one? Yeah, that's what I want to know, because I was looking at the price, and I mean, I can get one anywhere from, I think, 60 up to like $100. I mean, they're not extremely expensive, but the reason I want to get one is, 1, so that I don't give myself another concussion with my redneck string pulling, and 2, I need to be able to let Tommy and John in my backyard when one comes to cut the grass and the other comes to spray for bugs. So, yeah, y'all just let me know what you think about that. And I'm going to end this video here, but I'm going to go back to A Man Called Otto. It's really good. It has a really good message to it about maybe why grumpy people are grumpy. They might have a reason why they're grumpy, and they haven't been able to deal with their emotions about the things that make them grumpy. So anyway, just watch it if you feel led to. It's good. It's one of the best things I've seen on Netflix lately. So anyway, all right, that's it. I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. And I will talk to you later. Okay, goodbye.